evening, everybody. Good. I would like to first ask that all of the graduates please turn on your cameras. We would love to see you. This is your day. Also, we ask that you please keep your phones muted. Welcome to NPower's first ever national virtual graduation. You are the graduates of 2020 that we here at NPower are going to remember forever. You are the class that transformed how we view education. You are the ones who inspired us to create a learning platform that would work during a pandemic. And you are the graduates who provided us or proved to us that it did work. I could not be more proud of this group of talented men and women graduating here today. You have all done such an amazing thing for your future, and I know it was not easy. Graduates, you have displayed courage, ambition, and drive starting the day you applied for these programs, and even more so today. Out of all that applied, you made it. You graduated, and you are celebrated today. You sacrificed time with your friends and families to better your lives. You are the ones who spent 300+ hours in the classroom and then transitioned to a virtual classroom, and in addition, spent endless hours studying the foreign language of information technology. So what I'm trying to say is that you are all smart, very smart. I know there are great things happening for you and even more in the future. I'm so thankful for each one of you that are here today. You are truly an inspiration. Please let me introduce to you the woman who continually pushes us to do the most good. She is inspiring, compassionate, and more than that, she has a vision to deliver the best in education and make the world a better place while doing it. Please welcome NPower CEO, Bertina Ceccarelli.
Welcome and good evening. I am Bertina Ceccarelli, the CEO of NPower, and I am honored and humbled by the turnout of this evening's celebration. There's so many of you on the line. It's really fantastic. This is such an unprecedented time in our country and in the world. It's remarkable to me that in the midst of a historic health pandemic that has touched every one of our lives, and the heightened focus around systemic racism and the need for equity in this country, that 300 talented and determined individuals stayed focused on building the skills they need to soar. I am in awe of your personal commitment to excellence and the grace and trust you put in NPower for us to help you build a successful career. While times are challenging at this moment, we at NPower are hopeful for the road ahead. One of the important lessons we all learned during this pandemic is how vital a role technology plays in keeping us connected to learning, to work, to communication. Technology has enabled millions of people to work from home in a matter of weeks. This proves how critical tech jobs are in every company, and will continue to even grow in importance in the future. Today, we celebrate your achievements in completing this challenging program, and it's not an easy program to do in the best of times, and especially rigorous when you're doing it in a virtual environment. And I want you to know that we will be with you until you land the job of your dreams. It may take a little longer to see the economy rebound and for the market to open up more, but we're confident that you will have the opportunity to claim your space in tech. And we expect you to do big things. So to the NPower staff who honor the mission every day, I want to say thank you. To the partners who hire our students and hosted virtual internships, I want to thank you. And to the families of the graduates who supported them through this leg of the journey, we appreciate and value you. The young adult graduates, this is the beginning of the first step of your career. Believe in yourself, work hard, be yourself. And to the veterans and military spouse graduates, we thank you for your service, for your dedication to this program, and we know a bright future awaits you. To all graduates with us today, you've made us proud. Congratulations. I'm going to turn it over to Kevin Weeks, our program director for our Detroit program. Kevin?
Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to introduce Ms. Cameron Williams from our inaugural Detroit cohort. Despite personal loss and setbacks, Cameron remained focused and committed to control her own destiny. Cameron is in pursuit of a career and not just a job. Previously, she worked at Amazon's fulfillment center in Metro Detroit, but she decided to invest in herself and enrolled in our NPower program, where she took advantage of all our resources that we have to offer. As a result of Cameron's hard work and determination, she launched her career in technology and is currently interning at Microsoft. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Cameron Williams.
Hi, everyone. I hope you all are well and safe during these troubling times. And I just wanted to introduce to you a question that has been reoccurring in my mind lately. And the question is, why are we the way we are? Why do we speak the way that we speak? Why do we act the way that we act? And I believe I finally answered that question. We are who we are because of where we come from. I am who I am because of my family, who has had a large impact on my life. My father. He's shown me what a man is and what it means to provide for your family and what it means to be a diligent worker. My sister. She exudes confidence and she teaches me strength. My brother. He's strong and creative, but he also taught me that it's okay for a man to show emotions and that you should respect that. And finally, my mother. She was the strongest woman I knew. Sorry. She was my lawyer. She was my therapist. She was my best friend. She was my teacher. She showed me what it means to be a lady, what it means to be a mother, and what it means to be a friend. And unfortunately, on June 15th of 2019, the morning of my sister's birthday, me and my father watched her leave this world. Me watching my mother take her last breaths were probably the toughest struggle that I've ever had to face. But one day, a coworker at the warehouse that I formerly worked for, she introduced me to NPower. And although I was deeply mourning and I just didn't know how to go on, the only thing that I could hear were my mother's words of wisdom. God wouldn't bring you this far just to let you fall. So even though I was struggling and didn't know how to move forward, I took the opportunity to learn IT. I'm proud to represent my city. Detroit will always be a city of innovative, resilient go-getters. The reason why Detroit is so great is because of people like my classmates who always push and motivate each other to succeed. So thank you to the NPower team for your hard and honest work on and behind the scenes, and for seeing our potential, even if some of us didn't see it for ourselves. And congratulations to my fellow classmates across the country. I'm really excited to see what's in store for us because I do believe that the best is yet to come. Thank you.
Lauren, thank you so much for your heartfelt speech. It meant a lot. Hello, esteemed graduates. My name is Pedro Ramadi, Program Director for California. It is my pleasure to congratulate you all on your hard work and introduce class speaker Terry Martin Jr., U.S. Army veteran. Terry leads by example. He was always on time for class, only missing a day for a job interview. Terry is a humble, dependable, and kind human being. Also scoring one of the highest marks in the class on his CompTIA certifications. It is no surprise that he currently landed an IT apprenticeship at Google here in the Silicon Valley. To add more great news, Terry is expecting a baby girl in 3 weeks. Awesome. Everyone, please welcome Terry Martin Jr. Thank you.
Thanks, Pedro, and hello, everybody. I would like to start off by saying thank you to all the NPower staff for all your support. I definitely want to thank all my fellow peers that helped me, with the study sessions, held study sessions, shared resources with me and with each other just so we can get ahead, especially with, COVID going on. As a recruiter, I was stationed in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I really became aware of tech, right? Being so close to Silicon Valley, I saw how massive of a field it was. I also learned how the field is growing and how you don't have to take a traditional route by going to college to actually start a career in information technology. The advancements that we've made so far and how it's connected the world, it really fascinates me. I came around NPower while I was working as a recruiter. I ran into a veteran, and this veteran proceeded to tell me how a nonprofit organization gives you free training. I was a little skeptical at first, but when I reached out to NPower, I quickly realized that this was a program I really wanted to get into. And after being accepted and starting my first day of class, I realized I was in for really long nights of studying. This is a field where you can just spend hours on researching a component and still only scratch the surface of it. So there's times where I didn't know if I had the bandwidth to keep up. I kept at it. I implemented the advice of the placement team. I worked hard on my resume, really understanding how targeted resumes work. I applied to many different positions. I took time to do research on the companies and really highlighted my skills when I finally submitted my resume. I asked for help during my interviews. I asked Jason for help, and I know with all my heart I wouldn't have this opportunity to launch my career with Google as an apprentice at Google. So I really appreciate everybody's help with that. If I could offer one piece of advice to my peers, it would be to take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves and really focus on opportunities that appear. And hurting and the many injustices that are going around, I wish everyone is well, and I hope that you are safe. I hope that one day the love and compassion that we can heal as a people, as a nation, and as a world. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Terry. I'm Christopher Starling. I'm the Executive Director of NPower California, and it is a pleasure to be here tonight. Our distinguished guest this evening is Mark Hill, the Chief Information Officer of Gilead Sciences. Now, NPower serves young adults and military veterans as well as their spouses. Regardless of what category you fall in, you're going to be able to relate to Mark Hill. Mark has been a young adult. Mark has been a veteran who embarked on that journey of going into tech. His tech career started out many years ago after leaving the Army, but not like many of you, his entry into tech was rooted in basics, tech fundamentals. Along the way, he earned his undergraduate degree at Tusculum College in Greenville, Tennessee, and later a master's degree from Christian Brothers University in Memphis, Tennessee. Prior to Gilead, Mark worked at one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world, Merck. One of his jobs there was head of IT for global human health. I'll say that again. Head of IT at Merck, responsible for global human health. That's a pretty awesome responsibility. Another job he held at Merck was Vice President of IT for Research and Development. This is we've all heard of Merck. It's a massive company, and the responsibility, it's almost unfathomable. Well, today he's the Chief Information Officer at Gilead Sciences, and as most of you know, this company is on the front line on the fight against COVID-19. So in summary, there's no one more timely, more appropriate, more qualified than Mark Hill to speak to us this evening. Please join me in some applause or clicking on your Zoom clap emoji as we welcome Mark Hill to NPower. Over to you, Mark.
Hey, thanks, Chris. Thanks for those kind words. Good evening, class. It's awesome to be here with all of you. I'm deeply honored to be here with all of you this evening for this important occasion, NPower's 2020 virtual graduation. So let me first thank NPower, though, for their commitment to our military service members, for their commitment to moving people from poverty to the middle class through technical skills training and quality job placement. Sincerely, thank you, NPower, for your efforts and contribution to all of these young people on the call today. Graduation is a big achievement during normal times. Each of you accomplished this task during an election year, during civil unrest following the murder of George Floyd, during a once-in-a-lifetime global health crisis, AKA COVID-19, during an economic collapse, and on top of that, you attained this accomplishment in a virtual world via Zoom, which is our new normal. Wow. So if we were in a regular audience, I would just ask all of you to give yourselves, just a round of applause. Wow, that's an accomplishment within itself. I would also like to congratulate each of you for making a commitment to be future business leaders. I'm going to say that again. I would like to also congratulate each of you for making a commitment to be future business leaders. You have just completed the first step on your journey to be in control and accountable for your future as members of the professional class. I challenge, though, each of you to view today as a pivot point, in your life's journey, not an end point, but a pivot point. You may ask, why am I so optimistic that each of you are on your passageway to a successful future, even during these uncertain times? Well, it is because my journey is very similar to many of you. I was born in Birmingham, Alabama, and after high school, I joined the Army, as Chris stated. Once I completed my tours of duty, albeit during peacetime, I returned to civilian life, obtained a few degrees. And Chris missed one. I actually have another degree in organizational, and actually finance, but that's okay. But I kind of enjoy school. But I returned to civilian life, obtained a few degrees while working and studying hard. In other words, just like all of you, I had goals and aspirations. And I knew that the first step to success was to invest in me. Once you invest in yourselves, you are sending a message to others that you are committed, that you are confident, that you have arrived, and that you are ready to lead by example. Many years ago, before computers were as sophisticated as they are today, I was an IT generalist responsible for IT operations, and I was on assignment in Richmond, Virginia. Our global head of sales encountered a problem with his personal computer. I informed him that to solve his problem, I needed to do a low-level format on his hard drive, and that this procedure would erase all of his files on his computer. You can probably figure out, where this story is headed. In addition, though, I asked him if he had recently backed up his hard drive and stored his information in a safe place so that once the low-level format was complete, we could use this backup disk to restore his data to the machine. Well, needless to say, when I finished reformatting and configuring his machine, I asked for the backup disk to restore the data, and he had no idea what I was talking about. You can imagine what happened next. I'm telling this story to let you know that there will be temporary challenges and setbacks along the way, and you will recover as I did. I stand before you today, 30 years later, as the Senior Vice President and Chief Information Officer of a Fortune 500 company here in Silicon Valley. There will be many obstacles along the way, obstacles that will make you feel that you are not worthy and quitting is the only option. This is when you tell yourself that I choose to be successful, as each of you can already say that during uncertain times, you are able to persevere and attain your diploma as a member of the NPower class of 2020. This is not the end, but this is the beginning of your next chapter. In so many ways, you have already attained success. And in closing, I ask that each of you remain curious, run with news, share your knowledge with others. Remember that leadership is a choice, and a part of all you earn is yours to keep. In other words, pay yourself first. The world needs you. Congratulations, NPower class of 2020. There is so much success ahead for each of you. Thank you very much for your time today. Thanks, Chris.
All right. Thank you so very much, Mark. That was awesome. Good evening, NPower IT Fundamentals graduating class of 2020. It is my absolute pleasure to join in the massive coast-to-coast celebration of your greatness tonight. I am Aziza Binti, a social support manager representing NPower in the Show Me State of St. Louis, Missouri. My task this evening is to get you moving, screaming, and clapping for your favorite graduate, even if that favorite graduate is you, and everyone who has done an amazing job navigating not only your careers and your education, but also all of the challenges that come along with doing so in a pandemic. You all have showed out, shined, and did what you may not have even believed was possible for you just a few months ago. But here you are. You stayed the course, and so did we. Together, we are celebrating a collective win. I have a request. Please take me off of speaker view. I want to see each and every one of you fully, especially if you represent in St. Louis. I want to see your faces. I want to see you smiling. I want to feel your energy. I want that energy to come through the camera for everybody else to feel as well. If you are on Facebook, please send those emojis, comments. We want to feel that energy together. So without further ado, let's make some noise. Let's get out of our seats if we have to and shout for these graduates. The 90 graduates representing two of the dopest boroughs in New York City is none other than Brooklyn and Harlem, baby. Stand up. But not to, yes, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. And showing them how it's done in the Garden State of New Jersey. It's the 42 graduates representing Newark and Jersey City, baby. Let's get some noise. Yeah. Moving right along, we had a Big D busting in with 39 grads from Dallas, Texas, y'all. You know what it is. Come on, come on. Let's not forget Be More. Be More awesome. And the 63 graduates hailing from Baltimore, Maryland. Let's give it up for the East Coast, baby. Followed up by D-Town's finest. D-Town's finest, and the 22 graduates representing Detroit, Michigan. They the baby of the NPower team, but they coming right on up. Let's give them a round of applause, y'all.
Motown! Motown!
Not to be outdone, not to be outdone. Showing out for the Golden State, it's the 34 graduates from San Jose, California. Yay! Awesome. That's right, y'all. Let's represent that. Let's represent that West Coast love, baby. But you know what? Last, but certainly not least, it's the absolutely dynamic, dope, amazing. I'm sorry, y'all, but I gotta represent from my home state. It's the Show Me State graduates of the STL, better known as St. Louis, Missouri, baby. That's right, that's right, that's right. Let your family clap for you, celebrate you, because you all are absolutely amazing. My heart, my soul beats for each and every one of you, every single one. Of the people who work for NPower, for the people who donate to NPower, for the community members that support NPower, our hearts sing in celebration of your efforts. It is my honor to present to you the NPower IT Fundamentals graduating class of 2020. Make some noise and let's send them on out with love. Yeah. So proud of each and every one. That's right, y'all. Come on. You understand what I'm saying? Just because it's virtual, just because we're in the same, don't mean we can't feel that energy together. That's right. That's right. That's how we do it in NPower style. That's how we do it. Now, remember to tell somebody about NPower. Remember to tell somebody about NPower. I got to put that in there. Tell somebody you love and care about, that you want to have this awesome opportunity that you all have had. Make sure that somebody else gets to experience it as well. And to close us out tonight, I want to welcome NPower Program Director, the dynamic Demetrius Goodwin. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. That is a hard act to follow. As Aziza stated, I am the Maryland Program Director here at NPower, and I want to offer yet another congratulations to our NPower graduates. But I also want to thank our awesome and outstanding commencement speaker, Mr. Mark Hill, and our two terrific class speakers, Terry Martin and Cameron Williams. And finally, I want to thank the NPower family. That includes the friends and family of our graduates, our supporters, meaning our resource partners, our volunteers, our board members, our corporate partners, and our funders. We salute you all in the support that you give us for what we do here at NPower. Now, before I actually close out, I want to do two things. I'll share a story back from my Army days that I hope will inspire you, motivate you, and somehow humor you in a weird way as we continue to deal with the non-virtual realities such as the global pandemic, racism, and police brutality. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you the point of the story first, and that point being that in the midst of chaos, in the midst of uncertainty, in the midst of unideal conditions, you must continue to stay focused, stay on mission, and be resilient. I think that those words were spoken in some way between our speakers. Now, the story is this. I was in the Army. Yes, I'm a vet. And we were out in the woods in Washington State. This was probably mid-January. It's cold, raining, muddy. And we were trying to set up a communications network. And, you know, it was not ideal conditions. And I won't use any kind of explicit language. But we were just lackadaisical. And our first sergeant, he came around and kind of saw everyone was moving around. And he walked up to a group of us and he said, you know, I see you guys complaining. I see you kind of mulling around. You understand what we're here to do, but you're not really acting like soldiers. He said, I'm gonna tell you this. Nothing's gonna change as far as when we leave here, as far as the weather, as far as the conditions in general. But you do know what you can change. You do know we have a mission. You do know the task at hand that you have, and you do know, the focus that you need to make these things happen. So he said, I'm gonna tell you, Goodwin, son, you need to go ahead and embrace the suck. And I looked at him, we looked at him, kind of stood back, and what he was saying was the point I said, go ahead and not focus on the things you can't change, but focus on the things you can change. Stay on focus, stay on mission, stay on task, and be resilient. So I'll offer that to everyone here, to our graduates, as kind of a nugget moving forward. Embrace the suck and continue on. And now the last thing I want to say is a quote from one of our famous hip hop artists. You may know him as Drake. And he said this quote. He said, a wise man once said, nothing at all. So I will stop talking. I will invite everyone to stick around and enjoy the complete animated video for our graduating class. So thank you, and thank you for attending.
Again, thank you everyone for joining us this evening for our virtual graduation. And once again, congratulations to our Tech Fundamentals graduates of 2020. I hope to see everyone really soon and have a good night.
Make some noise, make some noise, make some noise. Good job, y'all. Good job.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations.
Thank you.